glad to be here. Another night. There ain't no place I'd rather be than right here, Brother Johnny. I took maybe told when I got here, in my body, I'm feeling weak. But I told the Lord, I said, I'm glad your strength it don't fail, Lord. A lot of times, if we ain't careful, we'll depend on ourselves, and somewhere we'll find we'll need the Lord. And I thought Joe, he was talking good. I thought the Lord, He'll be whatever you need Him to be in this life. He lost his mom, and he needed a mom, and that's who the Lord was. And I thought when I lost my mama, the Lord, he turned in not to my God, but my mama too. He'd been that to me. And I thought what he said maybe kind of went along how I feel like we're preaching. He said, if I do right, and if I serve Him, I thought one day we'll get to make it up there. I thought and I didn't know I'd say this, but when I first started out, Brother Johnny, I didn't know how to pray. I didn't know how to touch the Lord. I couldn't touch Him myself. I didn't understand how. Stephanie, but I thought my mama, she knew how to pray. And many times, Linda, I'd go down to her house and she'd pray for me, and the Lord, He'd begin to speak to me. And many times it was every week I'd go down there, and the Lord, He'd begin to tell me my heart, and He'd tell me what I needed to make it, Brother Joe. And I thought it went on for a long time. And there in 2018 into 2019, she passed there in February. And I thought when she died there, I remember coming home from Pike Club, I believe that night, and the enemy, he began to speak to me. I believe it was then. He said, she's gone now, and you'll never be able to stand. You don't know how to pray for yourself. You don't know how to do this. And I thought it really worried me, because I thought, Lord, I don't know how to pray. And I thought I began to get down, and I began to ask the Lord how to pray, and I began to ask Him what to do. And I thought I'm a teacher, that's what I do, but I began to find He taught me how to pray, and He taught me what to do to get a hold of Him. And we're in that day and time, you've got to do everything you can to get a hold of Him, for I didn't know how. But He began to show me. I tell Him, sometimes in school, I had teachers, I loved them. And then I had some teachers, they weren't no good. No. There were some they couldn't teach, but I thought when I met the Lord, I found one that was willing to teach me. Even though sometimes I was slow to learn how to do, but I thought He was willing to help me. But I thought, begin to pray maybe the other night. When it gets hard, now maybe I feel like I talked about this all week long, but if it keeps on with me, I'll keep on preaching this way. It's getting hard on the children of God. That enemy likes to press us, likes to cause me and you to doubt that the Lord can help us. But I felt like telling somebody or everybody, we got to keep on going. We got to keep on going for the Lord. For if that enemy could, like Brother Junior said every night, he said, we got a lot of people out, and there's a lot of people missing. That enemy's talking to God's children, and he's trying to get me and you out of the will of the Lord. He don't want me and you in the house of God. I thought we ran into traffic things we was planning on. Me and Jared and my wife Josie went down there to Lexington. We was planning on stopping and eating somewhere. We run out of time. And in my mind, I thought, Lord, I love to eat in somewhere. I love to eat good. I thought, Lord, I love to eat good in your house. I like to come out here and I like to get help from the Lord. For it'll do you better than you get over it. I found that the Lord, He'll keep me and you if we'll let it. I thought I'm going to do my best. I'm going to read out of Acts, the 16th chapter. Just a little bit of reading, not too awful much, but this is what He laid on our heart. If we'll be willing, we're in a time, and I'm not a mean person, you know I'm not. Now, I thought we're in a time people aren't willing to bear the cross that the Lord would have us to bear. They're not willing, they say, I said it earlier in the week, when Jesus began to tell them what to do, they said this is a hard saying. Who can hear it? And it said they walked away. And I thought we're in a time now more than ever we can't walk away. But there's times you've got to take that load that's on me and you, and we got to keep on walking. For there's days I thought, Lord, this load is too heavy for me. And I found He helped me carry the load. And I can tell you it'll help you too. But let me read just a little bit. I'm going to do my best. We'll get out of your way. 16th verse of the 16th chapter. It's familiar scripture, but sometimes when you do the Lord's will, that enemy's going to come even harder. He's going to come to press you. He's going to come to fight. And sometimes that means you know you're doing something right. And you know you're doing the will of the Lord when that enemy comes. But I thought it don't make it no easier when it comes to fight. For those days, I felt like I could stand no matter what he brought against me. And later there's been days I felt like I needed to go hide under a rock. I couldn't take it. But I thought that when I got down to them low points, I had to lean on the Lord. Let me read and do my best. It said, and it came to pass, as we went to prayer, a certain damsel possessed with the spirit of divination met us, said which brought her masters much gain by soothsaying. Said the same followed Paul and us, and cried, saying, these men are the servants of the Most High God, which show unto us the way of salvation. It said, and this did she many days. But Paul, being grieved, turned and said to the Spirit, I command thee in the name of Jesus Christ to come out of her. And he came out the same hour. It said, and when her master saw that the hope of their gains was gone, said they called Paul and Silas, and drew them into the marketplace unto the rulers. It said, and brought them to the magistrate, saying, these men, being Jews, do exceedingly trouble our city, and teach customs which are not lawful for us to receive, neither to observe, being Romans. I thought they was just out doing the will of the Lord. That day it was just like any other day for them. They was doing the will of God. And I began to pray, and I thought, Lord, there's times we're going to go do your will, and the enemy's going to come, and he's going to say that ain't right. He's going to try to discourage you and say you're not doing right. He's going to try to discourage you, tell you there ain't no reason to try. He'll tell you anything he can to get you to slow down. He'll tell you anything he can to get in your mind and tell you it ain't worth trying. But Brother Johnny, I'm convinced if we'll try now, it'll be worth it later on. Amen. I'm convinced if we'll put our whole heart in this thing and do all that we know to do, it'll be worth it when we get up there. When he begins opening books up and he opens it up, he'll say, did you do everything that I give you to do? Did you do it right? Did you keep going even when it got hard? I thought it'll mean something to really try even when you don't feel like it. To press your way when you think, Lord, I'm too tired. Lord, the battle's hard and I don't see how. For those days I thought, coming here, I walked in, I can just see his church building. I can't see ahead. I can't see what will happen. And I thought, I trust that the Lord knows everything. I trust that he knows what he's doing. And there's times you just got to believe that. I believe the Bible said you got to walk by faith and not by sight. There's times if you look around, you look at the crowd, you look at your situation, you might get discouraged. But can I tell you, if every time I ever looked to the Lord and I leaned on his strong arm, I wasn't discouraged. I had one who was willing to help me, and he's willing to help you too. Let me read just a little bit more. It said, and the multitude rose up together against them. Brother Gary said it last night. Sometimes when you go for the Lord, you might be by yourself. You might walk it alone, and you might have people come up against you. That don't mean you're wrong for standing up for what's right. That don't mean you're wrong. I thought he said you can do it with love. You can hold this word of God up. I've met people that do it, they'll be arrogant with this thing, but that ain't the will of God. He wants me to show love and a kindness, that you can hold it up anyways. You can hold up the hand of God. I've watched her. I love my papa, and I've watched him. He lived a life that shined a light. Sure. He told me one time, and I won't be long, but I feel like I'm preaching. He told me one time he was up there working in the mines, and best I can tell, there was a man that was giving him trouble. He was threatening to kill him, and there's times you're going to run into things you don't understand. And Papa done nothing wrong to that man, and I thought time went on, and he began to pray, and Papa didn't do nothing to that man. He was mean to him. That man was my Papa. The time went on, and the Lord moved it out of the way. There's times you can do nothing but wait on the Lord to move your hindrance. But there's times you got to work even in the middle of your hindrance. Papa, he could have said, I'm not going to work. He was afraid. He didn't know what would happen day by day. But he got his dinner bucket in his helmet and he went on to work anyway. There's times you're going to have to take your cross. Woo! You're going to have to bear that. Woo! Even when your situation, it looks bad. It looks as though you can't even do it another day. Really, to say why? You'll never be able. But can I tell you, if you'll just take that first step. I love that song. Said if you'll take one step, he'll take two. There's days I thought of things come against me, and I question. I think, Lord, why? Why does it have to be such a press? But that's a time we live in, for we ain't got much time left. And the enemy knows if he can get me and you to stop down here, just slow down a little bit. One of my principal, his name's Stan Nicely, and sometimes, I don't know if he's been here or not, but I thought the Lord's been helping him, teaching him. And I thought, I've been around him a long time, but he'll tell you that. He'll tell you for a long time. He sat back and he wasn't willing to do what the Lord wanted him to do. But I thought he'd begin to do more. And then there come the enemy, try to slow him down. And he said that enemy spoke to him, said, if you'll slow down just a little bit, I'll stop bothering you. And he said, I can't slow down. It don't matter if the enemy tells you you'll have the best life down here if you slow down. I can tell you it ain't worth losing your soul over. But he'll tell you many things if you'll just listen. But don't give an ear to him. For he'll lie to you every day of your life. He'll tell you things that seem good. Like I told him maybe the other day. He'll paint a pretty picture. Out back there, there's some pictures of the good old saints back there, and they're good pictures. And those are true. Those are things that was real. But I thought that enemy, he'll put a picture in your face. And he'll tell you how it's going to be, Jackie. He'll tell you exactly how it's going to be. Oh, but behind that picture, if you take that. Oh, behind it. This is going to sound funny, but when we got our house, I found out I did not like to hang up pictures. I did not like the nail. I did not like it. I was not good at it, Joseph. I'd hang them up, and it didn't look right. And by the time it's over with, we hung in pictures up. I was glad because behind it was a mess. I had a lot of scrapes, a lot of things that I wasn't proud of. I thought behind the enemy's picture, he's got a lot of mess behind it. You can't see it until that picture's down and you've got a hold of it. And it is too late if you took a hold. And I thought if you'll keep on, when he puts a picture in your face, you say, I'm not interested. I'm not interested in what you got. I'm going to keep on working. For it'll mean something to keep going even when that enemy's coming against you. For he loves to. Just a little bit more. It said, and the multitude rose up together against them. And the magistrates rent off their clothes and commanded to beat them. It said, and when they had laid many stripes upon them, they cast them into the prison, charging the jailer to keep them safely. Who having received such a charge, thrust them into the inner prison, and made their feet fast in stocks. I thought the Lord began to lay on my heart, and that enemy's trying to bind God's children. He's trying to bind them down so that they feel they can't walk, feel they can't do the work that God's given them to do. But can I tell you, even down in prison, you can still do your work. Even in the lowest points of your life, you can still get up and you can try. Right by the little preach about two men that was willing to try, even though they was bound down. I began to pray earlier, and my mind went back. I thought of the children of Israel. They lived in Jerusalem for a long time. And there at the end, I believe they got deceived, believing they were doing their best when they were letting down. They were letting go of the things that they knew of. And time came, and the king of Babylon, they come and they got him, and they took him all away. I preached a message one time. You're going to have to work even in a strange land, for that's where we're at in this day and time. And the Bible said it was requested of them to sing a song. And they began to tell him, said, Johnny, how can we sing in a strange land a song of joy when there's none? And you may say, Stephen, I'm struggling and I don't feel no joy in my heart. Oh, but you'll just get willing to sing our song. You'll find some joy. Woo! You'll get willing to do the things God's given you to do. You'll find that you'll find peace in this life. I ain't saying things won't come, Joseph. Things have to come. It's just the time we live in. But you can find help in the Lord. You can find much help. I told him a lot of times when I first got my job being a physical therapy assistant before I was a teacher, I thought for sure they was going to help me out there. They said they tried their best, but I looked to them to help me, to give me some peace of mind. They didn't talk to me anymore. They didn't keep up what they promised, how they keep me in mind. I felt like they didn't care. And I thought when I went to the Lord, I pray every day. And when I went to Him, I found Him caring. I found that He wanted me to press on, even when it was hard. Let me read just a little bit more and I'll get out of the way. Said, who having received such a charge, thrust them into the inner prison, and made their feet fast in stocks. So you listen to this. It said, and at midnight, Paul and Silas prayed. It said and sang praises unto God, and the prisoners heard them. Thought when you get down there real low, and you don't know what to do, best thing to do is start praying. Start doing what you know to do to get a hold of the Lord. It might not only help you, but somebody else might hear you too. They might see you and what you're doing. They'll say, I want that too. It said, and suddenly there was a great earthquake, so that the foundations of the prison were shaken, and immediately all the doors were opened, and everyone's bands were loosed. I thought they were down there. The Bible said they were stripped, they were beat, they were worn dead out. Yet they were willing to get up and pray and sing and begin to reach out to the Lord. Many times I think, Lord, I'm not willing to reach out and pray after the enemy's talked to my mind. I've not even been beat just yet. But I thought there's time you got to get willing. The Bible said, faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. And over at Poor Valley, there's some of them, they'll say, faith is like reaching out into nothing and pulling something back. There's times when you're down there and you're real low. Oh, if you'll get willing to reach out to the Lord, I can tell you, He'll not leave you empty-handed. He'll not send you away. I believe David, when him and his men, Brother Joseph, they were running from Saul. I believe the Bible said they went up to the priest and they didn't have no food. But the Bible said He gave them maybe the shewbread that they was going to offer. They said, take it and eat it. I thought there's times they weren't supposed to have that food. But there's times God will give you food in places you don't expect. He'll give you that to sustain you from places you never thought would ever come. But when it comes from these places, don't say no. I believe that when the Lord gave Peter his dream about the food on the table, he said, Lord, I'll not let nothing unclean come unto me. I'm not done with things. He said that I've cleansed, I'm not uncommon. I thought there's times you'll say, Lord, this ain't right. How do you know what the will of the Lord is unless He's told you? There's times you're going to have to be willing to take what He gives you. There was a man. I was a young boy, I believe, and Dad, we still do sometime. People that walk the road in Box Creek, and there was a man, Dad. I don't know if you'd ever met him before, and he was walking by, and Dad, he felt compassion toward that man. And he went into our single wide trailer at the time, and he made him a sack full of sandwiches, and he took them down the road, and he found that man, and he said, I felt like making you some sandwiches. And normally you'd think they'd be thankful for something to eat. And I thought that man, he began to question my dad, and he said, what's on it? And he said, I put some mayonnaise and mustard and things. And He said, I don't like them things. And he kept on walking, and he didn't get no food because he chose not to take it. I'm afraid many times we don't get our food because we choose not to take it. We choose, we say, Lord, I don't like that. Oh, have you ever been that way? Woo! There have been many times I stood up against the Lord because it wasn't the way I thought it should be. Don't be like that man walking the road. Say, no, I don't want that. You'll go hungry somewhere. You'll starve yourself. I thought when we fast, we starve that flesh. But you can't afford to starve out your spirit. You can't afford to starve yourself. Oh, when you do, baby, he'll begin to come. He'll begin to talk to you. He'll begin to tell you things, and you'll begin to listen. And you'll begin to turn. You'll begin to give your ear to the very things you said you would do. Don't let that happen. Don't let it do you that way. And I thought there's time. I wrote it down here. And Joseph maybe told me he's coming, but Lord began to put on my heart Sunday. He preached a message, and it helped me aside. He began to preach about down there in Egypt when the children of Israel was down there and they was in bondage. He began to preach about how even though after Moses came and Pharaoh said, we're taking away your straw, everything you got to work with, he said they still had to build bricks. They still had to work even though it was hard. And I thought even though it's hard, we still got to go. Even though it's hard and it's a press, you still got to press your way. I took that with me that all week long, Brother Joseph, even when it was hard. I had to push on. There's time when it gets hard. Woo, you got to press on anyhow. Over and we could. I had maybe on my mind that prophet that knew what to do. He told him go to the altar and go another way. Don't stop, don't do nothing. Yet he almost done that. He done everything. Yet he began to get to the end of it. And he went and sat down. He gave up. And he didn't finish what the Lord told him to do. It'll make something to finish. It'll make something to finish right. For if we ain't careful, it'll catch up to me and you. I told him I won't be much longer. But testing time, it's coming up for our kids. And they time them. They give you a set amount of time and that's it. And I thought we'll tell them, take your time. But if you don't know it, go on. Go to the next one. Because after that time's up, we shut the book and you can't go back. I thought after today, you cannot go back and redo it. You can't go back and say, Lord, I wish I would have went on. I wish I would have done better. And I thought, well, you got a chance and you got an opportunity. You do it right now. I'll tell my students, you do your best. You do your best. If you don't know it, well, go on. And I thought, you got to do your best. Do your best for him and he'll help you. Just a little bit more. It said, and suddenly there was a great earthquake, so that the foundations of the prison were shaken. It said, immediately all the doors were opened, and everyone's bands were loosed. And the keeper of the prison, awaking out of his sleep, seeing the prison doors open, he drew out his sword and would have killed himself, supposing that the prisoners had been fled. But Paul cried with a loud voice, saying, do thyself no harm, for we are all here. I thought you go on and read that man that was charged to keeping me ended up getting born again. I thought sometimes you may not understand why you're in the place you're in, but the Lord will put you in situations that will not just help you, but it will help others too. He'll put you in places that you can be alive. I told Linda earlier, we was there talking with Papa, and Brother Devin and his wife Hannah come to pray with him. And I thought Sister Hannah began to get moved on. The Lord went to speak to him, told him how he was with him. But he said, I'll let you shine a light in this dark place. Talking about that hospital, and I don't know why he had to be there. And I thought he can still shine his light where he's at. You can shine your light, it don't matter where you are. Bible said, let your light so shine before men that they may see your works and glorify your Father which is in heaven. If we ain't careful, you'll feel like I'm afraid many times. And I've been there and the Lord had to bring me low. I thought we'll think our light comes from ourselves, but it ain't coming out of me if you'll be willing to shine for Him and to go on, I thought it'll be worth it. It'll be worth it down here. We fight, we struggle. I thought, no doubt you had to push yourself to get up and come out here tonight. It's a press to do them things. And I thought one day when we get up there and it begins to open that book, and I know a lot of times you get to the grocery store, you wait in line, and you're tired of waiting after 2 or 3 minutes to check out. But I thought you get up for time, it won't be no concept. And I thought it began to tell you all the things you've done. And won't you be glad when you hear Him say, I'm glad you done this, and you done that, and you done this, and you done what I told you to do. Won't it be worth it when you hear Him say, well done? I thought a lot of times I have to encourage myself, say, Lord, it's going to be worth it. It's going to be worth it, Brother Joseph, pressing our way, Junior, when we did not feel like we could. There's days it's hard. And I won't be much longer. When He gave me this message, the Lord put a man on my mind. I thought when I worked at the hospital, I worked down in outpatient, and I go up on the floor. And there was a man, and his mind wasn't there. He had a bad mind. He didn't know hardly who he was or where he was. But I thought one day I got out and I began to walk him. And was walking around the hospital, and I thought, he's getting tired. And I said, do you need me to go find you a seat? And I was really encouraging him, like the enemy does, to sit down. I said, you need to sit down. In other words, I was thinking, because I didn't want him to fall. I was encouraging him. But he began to talk, and he said, no, I can't sit down. I got to keep on going. And I thought that man, he'd walk, and he walked more than about every time. A lot of times he wasn't willing, but when I got him up there, he started walking. He said, no, I can't stop. I got to keep on walking. And I thought, during that time, you got to keep walking. Even when it gets hard, you got to press your way in. I thought many times, we ain't careful that evening, he'll come and he'll be like I was to that man. He'll say, just sit down. Just slow down just a little bit. But can I tell you, it's not worth it. It ain't worth it. And I, Lord willing, I'll close saying this. Maybe praying. I thought Jeremiah in the Bible, he's a man, and he spoke the words of God. And many times it was hard. And or sometimes you're going to have to do things that this flesh does not want to do. It's going to be hard. It's going to take you out of your comfort zone, being willing to go for the Lord. And I thought he'd come down, and they got mad at him, and they threw him in that old pit, in that miry clay. And he began to tell the Lord, he said, I'm not going to do nothing no more. I'll not speak the words. And have you ever been there? And there's days I thought, Lord, I can't do this no more. It's too much. And I began, like Jeremiah, I thought, it began to well up inside of him. That he knew he had to do. Have you ever been there? You made up your mind. You thought, Lord, I ain't doing this no more. You begin to feel the Lord get up in your heart. You thought, Lord, I've got to do this. For it's needful. Sometimes I think, Lord, I wish I knew the outcome of everything. There's times I've done things, I never seen the outcome of it, but I had to be willing to do it. There's times you'll not understand why He asks you to do the things He does. But if you'll be willing to go on, I didn't come to discourage you, but I come to encourage you. You've got to go on. You got to go on the time we live in. Right in, He wants you to. He wants to talk you down. Now, if I could, many times I see people struggle, and there's people that work among us. And I pray for them because we know their situation. Some we know what they face. And you can see the enemy come with great force to turn them down because they know what help they are to God's people. And I've watched him come against God's children. That enemy just calls. They help the Lord's children. And you may say, Stephen, I don't know what I've done to deserve what I'm going through. The trouble in my mind. But when you do for the Lord and you help somebody, that enemy's got a list and you're on it. He don't want you to do anything to help another. But can I tell you, if you'll be willing to help God's children, when you need the Lord, He'll be there for you. If you'll be willing to do them things, can I tell you, the Lord, He'll help us. If we What am I doing? I done what he told me to do. And I felt like, Lord, what did it ever do? And the enemy said, see, you made a mess of everything. But I couldn't see behind everything what had happened. There's times you may never see, but you got to keep going on anyway. No matter what he tells you, don't let him discourage you and cause you to give up. For we're not in a time you can give up. That's what I felt like bringing tonight. Any other brother feel like saying anything? We'll let you come pray. If you lost, come pray. If you saved, you need help from the Lord, come pray. He's got it for us. He'll give you that not only to sustain you. I'll say this. When Hannah came, a lot of people know what Dad went through, know what he faced. And I thought the Lord began to speak to him, and best I remember said, you was faithful even when the circumstances were bad. And he said, I'll be faithful to you. And I thought there's times your circumstances, they are not good. They don't look like it's even possible that you could go on. But can I tell you, if you'll just keep walking, I thought if you'll just keep on, you'll find it'll be working, brother. There are days I thought, Lord, things come, and I'm an honest person. I never wanted to stop serving the Lord. There's times I've laid down on my bed, and I say, Lord, if you don't help me, I don't see how I'll go on. I don't see how I'll make it. I don't know if you've ever been there, but I've been there. I didn't know. I didn't see the way. And can I tell you, the Lord did not come and pick me up out of my bed and say, let's go on. And I thought I had to get a mind to get up and go anyway. You got to have a mindset. I know I said I'd be quiet. I thought Brother Ari will come around sometime, and he used to do that weightlifting. Brother Joseph, he said there's a spirit in him. There was. He said he'd get in that mind. He's going to do the weight. He's going to push it no matter what it took. You got to get in mind no matter what it takes. You're going to do it. You're going to be willing to bear the cross. For many people, the Bible says a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. If you have a mind one day to run, and then you sit back and say, Lord, I'm not doing it no more. That's not pleasing to the Lord. But if you make up your mind this day, it says choose this day whom you'll serve. Choose to go for the Lord, and you'll find that he'll be a friend that'll stick closer than a brother. You'll make up your mind. I've been there before. I thought when I was younger, I done things, and I followed people around. I do what they done, Brother Johnny, because I wanted to feel included. Now I thought my heart wasn't in that. My heart went in it, and I got tired of it after so long, and I thought I'd give up on doing them things because my mind was not made up. I thought that when I got saved, Sister Sandy Caldwell testified, and she said I started to make it all the way. And it encouraged me so much and made me choose that day. In my mind, even though, and from that day till now, great things have come. Things that have knocked me off my feet and caused me to fall sometime. And I made up my mind I was going to go back to the Lord. The one that gave me help the first time. And I found he's been the help every time. I found he's been the one that's helped me here. I thought we go to the doctor, we do them things, and there's times they're fast about it and they know how to help you. Sometimes they'll run you around, never know how to fix you. Oh, but when I went to the Lord, he knew every time. I didn't mean to get going again, but I didn't mean not to. Don't leave here with a mind that says, Lord, I don't know. Well, you get down that altar till you get a mind that says, Lord, I'm going on anyway. I'm going on, and I'm going to do my best. And I ain't trying to say you don't have a mind, but that enemy's going to try to persuade you every day. It sounds funny, but we was getting ready for church Thursday evening, I believe. It was like yesterday evening, and I've never had it happen before. We had two men pull down in our driveway, and they come up to our door with a big old box and said, we're here and we want to show you our product. We want to show you our cleaning supplies. And they said it won't take long. And I was getting dressed, and they was talking to Josie at the door, and I got up there, and they said they had the boxes. They was ready to push their way in. They wanted to come in, and I said I'm sorry, but we got revival, and I got a big church, and I made up my mind that they could not come in. I thought there's times you got to make up in your mind your hindrances. They can't come in. And you got to press on for the Lord. And I wouldn't mean to them. I said, I'm sorry. I can't stick around. And when that enemy comes, say, I'm sorry. I'm not sticking around and listen to you. I'm going on for the Lord. Come and pray. Come get a hold of that you need to make it for the Lord.